Greetings. We're connected with unconditional love for your highest message of wisdom and guidance most pertinent to you at this time. For whoever is resonating with this message, you are coming out in the energy of justice. You're feeling very balanced in multiple or all areas of your life. And even in moments where you don't feel balance, where you feel yourself being out of balance, you're just so much more aware of it, and you're feeling much stronger at rebalancing your energy. This is playing out in finances. This is playing out in romance, in general relationships. It's playing out also intuitively. So spiritually, you're experiencing a healthy balance between your spirituality and your divine nature and your earthly presence and your material reality. I'm not getting the sense that this balance feels particularly ecstatic at this time or particularly sad. It's, again, even the way that it feels, the emotional feeling of it is balanced. So that's how your energy feels, and what's on your mind and on your energy consciously is about moving away from the past, continuing to journey away from old habits of maybe sharing too much emotion, being possibly volatile with your energy, volatile with your finances. You're grounding into the core, right? The central spiritual nature of who you are, and allowing all of your physical existence to manifest around that. And that's giving you a strong spiritual spine. And by having that strong spine, you're able to notice areas where maybe you might have been out of balance in the past, or where you had a habit of living in a certain way that wasn't in alignment with that spiritual spine. So you're consciously continuing to manifest your energy away from that and to manifest yourself towards strength, right? Spiritual strength, where your body is in service to your spirit, and your spirit and soul have control over your body and have control over your lower reality. This is actually a very high level message, but it also exists again in a very physical, very 3D real way. Just like the reading is saying too, that's a part of the balance that you're experiencing. I hope that all of this is coming through very clearly though, because a lot of the energy is abstract, leaning into material and then back into abstract. It's very beautiful. You're basically continuing on your journey of following your heart to your soul's desires. And you might be in a state where you are in the moon, where you feel like there's a lot that feels unknown. Maybe you're in an in-between state. Maybe you're in what feels like a void, where you've walked away from one reality, but your reality that you're moving towards, you haven't fully experienced it physically yet. And in the meantime, you're just sort of continuing to distance yourself from old habits and patterns that, again, were not in alignment with your spiritual axis, your central axis. What's underlying your energy is this sense of foundation. This Four of Wands energy could represent a relationship or any other foundation of yours that you have been nurturing and constructing, fortifying. Whatever this foundation is, through the collaboration of the individuals involved with that situation, right? Whether it's a relationship of any sort or it's a creation of yours personally. The individuals involved in that are working towards breaking it free from certain limitations through the collaboration and the dropping of certain restrictions and difficulties, right? Complications in this foundation. There's someone that is gaining a great amount of enlightenment. Someone is feeling healed and enlightened about how the emotional reality can influence the physical reality, how the subtle reality can influence the overt. In particular, I'm seeing that there's someone external to you that is gaining clarity on you and how you move and why the way that you move is right for you and it's wise. they also get the sense that your physical reality is changing and will shift, whether it's gradual, whether it's happening already. This person gets the sense that through whatever means that you use uniquely, you are transforming your reality, even if to the external world it doesn't understand that kind of wisdom, even if to the external world it doesn't look like it. So this person has a lot of faith in you, it seems, right? That's faith, believing and not seeing. So this person is learning to trust and the ability to believe without seeing. This might be a new thing for them because with the star, it could be a new awakening in their understanding of possibility. Because you're in the state of the moon, you might not really see all the time, and you might sometimes feel just that sense of being not quite there yet, right? It feels like this person is gaining a sense external to you, and they're seeing you and feeling like all of those things that you seek to accomplish, that you will be able to, and that it is coming for you through this practice of yours, through whatever practice of yours that you use. So you may have anxiety about it, you may have doubts, but this person is feeling more and more certain about your ability and what is impending for you, the positive, the miracles that are impending for you, the seeming miracles, right? Another thing that's happening within you that both you and this person recognize is the release of certain toxic systems, like toxic foundations. This could be old support systems, old family situations and connections. This could reference toxic ways of identifying with certain groups based on values that, again, are not in alignment with your personal soul's axis, right? Your central point. You're getting stronger at being an individual from this group and at not needing them to identify with your central axis. You're just kind of allowing them to be who they are, and you're disidentifying with anything that you don't identify with. And by being authentic to yourself in this way, you're cutting karmic cords, you're dropping toxic ties, and it's triggering, eventually it will trigger all sorts of things down the line for those individuals in those groups. It could be cults. I don't know why cult came up strongly, but it doesn't have to be a cult for you, you know. But whatever it is, whether it's a cult or just a cultish sort of clan-like support system or family system or friend network, it feels like there's been a denial about what it was and how it really felt, what it truly was, right? And finally, the truth is being accepted at some point. And there's just a deepening in your authenticity and your individuality because of that, right? You're releasing any illusion that any of those people from that situation are like you, and that any illusion that their central axis is your central axis. You're a leader in your own right. I'm seeing this energy is growing within you, this understanding that you are meant to lead uniquely in your own right. And from there, I'm just seeing a lot of clarity, a lot of realizations being triggered down the line. I'm not going to go further down the line in those realizations right now because I want to keep this reading short today. Your guidance has to do with allowing a certain realization to take place, though. So we will talk about that specific realization, which is kind of a tower moment, but it's the tower on its side. So again, it's something that you know on a level. You haven't wanted to accept it. This realization has to do with going back and making offerings. So it seems that you in this void state, right? It feels like you're waiting for some, or rather establishing some change in the network, change in the grid, in the vibration. And there's a part of you that strongly wants to, whenever this material shift comes in, right, this physical change comes in, you take that and go back and offer it, possibly to this, toxic support system. I don't want to call it completely toxic support system, but Do you know what I mean? This support system that had a clan-like energy, right? That felt rather controlling and restrictive in and most importantly felt out of alignment, right? Its values and ideals felt out of alignment with your core values and ideals, right? So there's a part of you that wants to go back to that situation and make offerings of peace offerings almost. Maybe the way that you left was difficult or tumultuous. Spirit says that there are some realizations that are due for you around that. It's very interesting. It feels as though it's about understanding that that is on some level a form of control. There's something about understanding that you didn't do anything wrong, right, by walking away from that situation. If you walked away from that situation in the past, or you don't do anything wrong by aligning more with your core values and by coming out of alignment with that situation, putting distance between you and those past habits and patterns that kept you connected to that old clan. In fact, you are doing something very right, right? Again, with justice, you're upright. You are standing in alignment with your soul's blueprint, which is to become a leader, to inspire change in others, to inspire transformation in the world, and to take yourself very far, to create new physical realities for yourself. There's something really, really important here about just taking things from being not physical to being physical. You really are, you're here to really show the world how you can ground changes into reality from the subtle energies. I feel like this is a really big part of your purpose in this lifetime. And there's someone, of course, connected to you that can see that for you now, right? This person, for most of you, is not connected to that past clan-like situation and is in a different situation in your life altogether. There's someone that is collaborating with you if they're in your physical reality and you guys are connecting, they are collaborating with you to also release restrictions and boundaries on your foundation together. But anyway, this is not a love reading today. There's just some clarity that needs to be gained about how desiring to go back and make those peace offerings in that way, from that place of contrition, right? It plays a role in, it has a sort of sabotaging energy to this work that you are doing to open up your foundation and to release it from its restrictions, to beautify it, open it up to more adventure, align it more with your soul. This desire to go back to that past situation and make offerings sort of is at odds, right? With staying in alignment with this work that you're doing today. Also, it just feels like there are some realizations to let in regarding your worth, your abundance, the changes you've made, and anything that you owe anyone else. I feel like seeing if we have a Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle message to close out the reading. And the card that comes out today is number 39, Turquoise. The guidebook reads, True Riches. A copper-based stone attracting good fortune since antiquity, turquoise was popular for protective amulets. Sacred to Venus and to Buddha, it linked earth and sky and made a potent love charm. Your pathway is of self-realization. Qualities you cultivate now drive your spiritual evolution forward. Draw on your karmic wisdom and past life skills. Release vows that no longer serve you and speak what used to be unspeakable. Watch your health and avoid polluted environments. Brilliant success and happiness are coming. Fortune favors you. You navigate the way forward with sure-footed confidence, but watch your personal safety and deal with problems immediately. Good friends accompany you. You are in the spotlight and others rely on you. Your true riches lie not in the bank, but in your heart, attuning to inner riches. And interestingly enough, the card that came out underneath the deck is number 40, Menelite, the wise feminine. Menelite has a profound connection with Earth, the wise feminine, and priestess power. It marks rites of passage through womanhood to wisdom. Honor your sacred sexuality. Mark rites of passage joyfully. Experience a period of gestation. To move would not be beneficial now. Nurture yourself and bide your time. Withdraw into your inner world to accept necessary change, make your soul whole, and find power allies. You know when it is time for rebirth. Maturation is a process of growing wiser. The soul and the heart do not age, expressing the divine feminine. Okay, that was a particularly lovely reading. I pray that you gained healing wisdom and deep intuitive confirmation from this reading. And I'm very grateful for us having connected here today. I look forward to us connecting in the next reading. So, as usual, take great care of yourself and happy aligning.